guardian of the glowing lagoon. Once upon a time, hidden deep within the jungles of a faraway land, there lay a lagoon of extraordinary beauty. This lagoon wasn't just any body of water. It glowed. By day, the waters shimmered with a soft, pearly blue light, as though the very air around it sparkled. By night, it became even more magical, lighting up with thousands of tiny golden lights that danced across the surface like fireflies on a summer's night. This was the glowing lagoon, a place so full of wonder that it seemed to belong in a fairy tale. And it was here that our story begins. Kai, a young boy with a heart as curious as the jungle around him, lived in a small village not far from the lagoon. He had grown up hearing stories of the lagoon's magic, told by his grandmother as she sat on their porch, weaving baskets from jungle vines. She would tell him about how the lagoon had always been protected by a guardian, someone chosen by the lagoon itself. The guardian's duty was to care for the lagoon, to ensure its waters remained pure and its magic strong, for the lagoon was the lifeblood of the entire jungle. Plants grew taller, animals thrived, and the very air was sweetened by the lagoon's glow. Kai loved the lagoon, visiting it often, though he had never imagined he would be chosen as its guardian. He would spend hours by the water's edge, watching the gentle waves ripple and listening to the sounds of the jungle mingling with the soft hum of the glowing water. Sometimes he would catch glimpses of creatures swimming beneath the surface, creatures that seemed too fantastical to exist in the real world. Turtles with shells that glowed like moonstones, fish with scales as bright as rainbows, and tiny shrimp that flitted about, leaving trails of light behind them. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the jungle began to hum with the songs of crickets and frogs, Kai felt a strange pull toward the lagoon. He wandered down the familiar path, but tonight something was different. The air seemed thicker, the light from the lagoon dimmer, and the usual warmth of the water felt cool against his skin. As Kai dipped his toes in the water, he felt a gentle tug, as though the lagoon itself was calling him. Suddenly, the water around him began to glow brighter, swirling in patterns that seemed to form shapes, figures of animals, plants, and stars. Then, from the depths of the lagoon, rose a great sea turtle, her shell gleaming like the full moon on a clear night. Her eyes, wise and kind, fixed on Kai, and her voice echoed softly in his mind. "Kai," she said, "the lagoon has chosen you. You are to be the new guardian." Kai's heart raced with excitement, but also fear. Me? But I'm just a boy. How can I protect the lagoon? The turtle smiled. The lagoon does not choose without reason. You have a heart that listens and eyes that see what others overlook. But the task ahead is not an easy one. Darkness is creeping into the lagoon. The magic that keeps it alive is fading, and you must find the cause before it is too late. Kai felt a shiver run down his spine. He had noticed the dimming light, but he hadn't realized it was something more than a passing shadow. "What should I do?" he asked. "Listen to the waters," the turtle said. "They will guide you. But remember, you cannot do this alone. Seek the help of your friends and the creatures of the lagoon. Together, you will restore the balance." With that, the great turtle slowly sank back into the glowing water, leaving Kai alone on the shore. But he wasn't alone for long. From the trees, Kai's best friend, a clever and mischievous girl named Lonnie, emerged, having followed him. Her eyes were wide with wonder. "Kai, did you see that? The turtle spoke to you," Lonnie exclaimed, her usual playful energy now mixed with awe. Kai nodded, still in shock himself. "I've been chosen as the guardian," he said slowly, as if saying the words aloud would make them more real. "But the lagoon is in trouble. Its magic is fading, and I need to find out why." Lonnie's expression shifted from awe to determination. "Then let's do it. You heard what the turtle said. You're not alone in this." The two friends set off the next morning, determined to uncover the mystery of the fading lagoon. Their first stop was to visit the wise old frog, Kumo, who lived on a moss-covered rock in the center of the lagoon. Kumo had lived through many guardians and was said to know the lagoon's secrets better than anyone. As they approached, Kumo greeted them with a slow croak, his eyes half closed in what appeared to be perpetual drowsiness. "Ah, Kai, Lonnie," he said in his gravelly voice. "The lagoon has chosen you, has it?" "Yes," Kai replied, "but the magic is fading. Do you know what's causing it?" Kumo's eyes opened fully, and he stared at them with a seriousness they had never seen before. "The waters are troubled," he said. "In recent years, people from the villages beyond the jungle have started using the river that flows into the lagoon for their own purposes. They cut down trees, pollute the water with waste, and take more fish than they need. The balance is shifting, and the lagoon's magic is suffering." Kai's heart sank. He had noticed more people coming through the jungle, but he hadn't realized the damage they were causing. "What can we do?" he asked. "The lagoon can heal itself," Kumo replied, "but only if the damage stops. You must speak to the people, help them understand the harm they are causing. And you must restore the waters by calling upon the creatures of the lagoon. They will help you, but you must act quickly. Time is running out." Kai and Lonnie knew their task would not be easy, but they were determined. They returned to the village and spoke with the elders, telling them of the lagoon's plight. Some listened with concern, but others scoffed, saying that the lagoon had always been there and always would be. Undeterred, Kai and Lonnie gathered the children of the village, teaching them about the lagoon's magic and showing them how their actions affected it. The children, eager to help, joined them in cleaning the riverbanks, planting trees, and spreading the word to their families. But still, the waters remained dim. That night, as Kai sat by the lagoon, feeling the weight of the responsibility on his shoulders, he heard a soft voice. "Do not lose hope, young guardian." He looked up to see the glowing figure of a dolphin rising from the water. She was one of the lagoon's ancient protectors, her sleek body shimmering with light. "You have done well," she said. "But now you must call upon us, the creatures of the lagoon, to help restore the magic." Kai stood tall, feeling a surge of confidence. He called out into the night, his voice carried by the wind. "Creatures of the lagoon, We need your help." From the depths of the water, the glowing turtle appeared, followed by fish, eels, and even tiny glowing shrimp. They all gathered at the surface, their lights blending together in a magnificent display. Together, they began to purify the waters, using their magic to cleanse the pollution and restore balance. The lagoon glowed brighter and brighter until it lit up the entire jungle, its magic stronger than ever before. Kai and Lonnie watched in awe, their hearts swelling with pride. The lagoon had been saved, not just by their actions, but by the collective effort of all who cared for it. The next morning, the village awoke to the most beautiful sight they had ever seen. The lagoon was glowing brighter than ever, its magic restored. And from that day forward, the people of the village vowed to protect it, understanding that their actions had a direct impact on the world around them. Kai continued his role as the guardian, with Lonnie always by his side, and together they ensured that the glowing lagoon remained a beacon of beauty and magic for generations to come.